Hey Walking Dead fans, Leanne Aguilera here with a familiar face, the amazing Michael Cudlitz, aka the latest victim on The Walking Dead. I'm so mad at Negan right now.
Right?
How are you feeling?
I can't be mad at Negan because it's Jeffrey. Jeffrey's awesome.
If you gotta be killed by someone, I guess
Right.
getting killed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan's alright.
Let Denny kill me, right? Just get him a heart for crying out loud. What's going on here?
The fact that you're like quoting back to Grey's Anatomy
Don't
right
judge
now.
me. You're judging me now, aren't you?
No, I'm not judging you. I'm mourning you right now because I was such a huge Abraham fan, as so many of us were. Talk to me. When and where did you find out that you were going to be crushed by Lucille?
Found out about a year and 4 months ago. Year and 3 months ago. Yeah, that's when Steven and I found out initially. We knew it was coming. I knew that my time in the comic book had come, or was coming. So I was a fan of the show prior. So anything up until that, if you're a fan of the show and you see what they've done on the show, you come on the show, you know that your time is limited. If there's an expiration date stamped on the bottom of your foot. So I was not surprised. I just wanted it to be pretty epic. I think it's probably a common thread that goes through any actor who's going to die on any show. You want your death to be, epic, memorable, but more importantly, to honor the life that the character had. And I think that's what we did. One of my concerns going into it was that Steven and I were both going to go on the same episode in the same time period, and I wanted to make sure that nothing took away from the death of the Glenn character. Because being a fan of the show, I had a lot vested in that character. So I wanted to make sure that life was celebrated in the best way possible, and that nothing took away from it. So I think we did a good job. I think Scott wrote an amazing script. Greg Nicotero directed an amazing episode, and it all goes back to these characters that Kirkman has created, multi-layered, just awesome characters telling great stories.
Well, and the fact that you've had to keep the secret for a year and 4 months is very impressive right now.
Well, it's easy to keep a secret that you're not allowed to say anything about. The secrets that are harder to keep on our show are the secrets from week to week, because we have things where we'll do press and they'll tell you, no, they have the screener, they've seen it, so this is not going to air till after. So like, okay, so we can talk about the show and what happens, and then jumping back to, no, these guys don't know anything about it, so we can only talk about what they've seen so far. So you kind of have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics, in the middle of all of this. Y'all better be putting like hearts and unicorns and all kinds of crap jumping through there, and sad cry faces, and it's all good, okay? It's all good. It's all fine. Thanks for coming over. You guys are the most awesome fans, and now there better be hearts, right? Hearts. There better be hearts.
Oh,
all
that's
right.
really
Anyone
sweet.
leaves now, I'm gonna know. I'm gonna go back and watch and see who and when you left. So. But no, it's fun. And honestly, this is like the interchange and the relationship we have with the fans is the best part of all of it, because they do know us a little bit outside the show. So I think like when we do something like The Talking Dead after the show, like last night, and we have a big 90-minute thing and the whole cast comes, everyone gets to see us and see that we're okay, and see that yes, we love Jeffrey, and we're not scarred in some massive way. We're not scarred the way you guys are scarred. Sorry about that. It's all part of the journey that we all go on, and we're just grateful for these guys.
Well, talk to me about the prosthetics that it took to create that skull bashing in amazingness.
Yeah, I'm going to post later. There's some videos that Steven and I did in the makeup trailer when you have to keep it light.
Oh, we saw a couple on Talking Dead last night.
Yeah, they're gonna. I have some that didn't air, probably because they mentioned product names and stuff. But there's some funny ones coming. But Greg Nicotero again, who directed this episode, when Greg started on the show, he was basically only the special effects makeup guy. I think he may have been co-producer on, early on. This is what Greg does. This is a genre. This is what he grew up in horror. Always wanted to direct. I think that this is the first time he has directed was on this show. I think back in season 2 or 3, and when I came on the show, he directed my first episode on, my first scene on, and it's interesting just from my career being around this so much. I've been very fortunate over the years, seeing a lot of different directors. To see him grow over the years has been kind of awesome. But getting to the point, he's the director, but he also runs and is in charge of the makeup department still on the show. So to see his team come together and make the pieces that made up the different, sort of series of bashings that had happened with Steven with the eye, covering the eye and having the eye come out, and there was one where it was further out than the other, so it was the second hit or the third hit. It's pretty amazing. I think that our makeup crew, their goal is to make it so that the visual effects team never has to touch anything that they've done, because it looks so good and real. Because you can't fully duplicate real. You just can't. You change it in some way. You can enhance real, but you can't duplicate it. So they really like to do the physical effects as real as possible on site. Real blood, not real blood, but real like liquid.
Where are you gathering that real blood from?
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. He talked about the real blood. He talked about the real blood. So yeah, it's there's probably about an hour and a half in makeup. We did a test a couple days prior of what the pieces were going to be, so that on the day they could swap out very quickly and go do retakes. So it was a big deal, Basically, they put on a bald cap and they reconstruct everything above what we're doing on the head. The clip that you showed on, or they showed last night, I think, had me with long wig. It was before everything had been cut and styled into Abraham's hair. Steven, the same thing. We both went completely bald first, and then they built up everything from there. Well,
I'm happy to see that you still have Abraham's mustache.
I do.
Still rocking it.
I feel like it's a little respectful to the fans that we're gonna leave it for a moment, so that nobody feels like I'm in such a rush to get rid of this character. It's like a mourning process that we all go through.
Well, talk to me about filming that final death scene. When you were going into it, were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you a little intimidated?
Honestly, the biggest concern for me going into the whole thing is I got really crappy knees, and I just read the script, and all I could picture the whole time was, wait, we're on our knees? And I just kept turning pages, and I'm like, fart, we're on our knees still. Yeah, fart. See, that's me self-editing in my head, so nobody got in trouble. And I just kept turning pages, and when we were still on our knees, and we're on our knees, and we're on our knees. And
not only were you on your knees, but Abraham was like as tall as he could be.
Yeah, possibly not the best choice for comfort in there.
But definitely more of an FU to Negan.
Oh, yeah. But not. That was not a comfort moment. So, look, it was great because we were in a semicircle, so you're literally not allowed to, but you're able to look around the room and see everybody's face and see everybody when they're doing their work, which is kind of great because we are gifted with a really talented cast, and to see everybody do their work for 2 nights in a row and watch the reactions, and to watch Jeffrey his first night coming in, he was going between The Good Wife and our show. We had a very specific slot of time that we had him for, and he had that tremendous amount of dialogue to deliver on his first day to a very well-established cast on the #1 show in the world, a show that he is a fan of, to walk in and have everybody literally on their knees, and he's the guy in control and in charge. To watch him build that character over those 2 nights was amazing because all the footage, the coverage was on the existing cast already for the first night, and you could see him every take, 13, 14 takes in, throwing stuff away that didn't work, adding stuff back that did work, so that when we turned around the next night and we were back on him, Negan was brought to life. And you could see that literally, we just had a front row seat to watching an actor create literally this character, possibly the most awesome bad guy in television history.
Not possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Nah, because he can still crap the bed, and just everyone just hates him, and no, I'm kidding. So he's a bad guy.
He's a very bad guy.
And he's fun though. He's fun. He's fun. Shut up. He's fun. He will be fun. He'll be more fun than you think he's going to be. He's not going to be as fun as Denny.
Yeah. Well, we're live right now, so they can hear the sounds.
We're waiting. This is what sound guys do in the middle of the. Now he's mad at me. So he's gonna come over and poke me in the head, but he can't because I'm live. Poke me in the head afterwards. We had a garbage truck that was backing up, and we were gonna wait for that, but we're not gonna wait because it's live. So we still better have unicorns and hearts and
the tongue stick out emoji and the laughing emoji.
Oh my God.
Well, we gotta talk about, of course, your very last words on Walking Dead.
Suck my nuts.
3 amazing words.
Right.
When you found out that was going to be your lasting legacy on The Walking Dead, what was your reaction?
It's like, who doesn't like a good nut sucking? Wait, what? You all right there?
I'm fine.
It's okay. Ooh. Having a moment. We'll wait.
No, it's fine. But no, that was definitely one of the most Abraham things that you could have said, because you are the king of one-liners on The Walking Dead.
I will accept your dubbing me of that. I will not claim that title, although I happen to agree.
What's another one-liner that you've had on the series that's always been a personal favorite of yours?
Bitch nuts. It's not really one-liner, it's like a one-worder.
Always with the nuts.
Yeah, always with the nuts. Abraham's got a thing for nuts, I guess. I don't know.
He also has a thing for beautiful ladies.
Yes, right?
We had the lovely Rosita, and then also a little romance brewing with Sasha.
Yep.
When you got to see that fictional flash forward where they were all at the dinner table and we saw Abraham and Sasha together and happy, what was your thought about that?
Well, all that Steven and I could think of was that little baby...
So cute.
The hair was a little red. Y'all can do whatever you need to do with that. That was a little red-headed post-apocalyptic baby.
Do you think that is what would have happened?
I just think Abraham was getting busy with everybody.
With everybody.
Everybody.
And there's Eugene, just loving every minute of it.
Watching it all. You want to know what happened?
From the corner.
Ask Eugene, because he's probably watched all of it. No, that was great. I think that literally is that's a moment of what could have been, you know, and that's what Negan is saying to him, and in Rick's sort of mind, that's the world that he was trying to create. Mm-hmm. You know, that shot is what he hoped for all of these people, for his family, for his chosen family. And that is a reality that will obviously never, ever be. You know, so I think that's, the audience is sort of like projecting on that as well. That is what they hope for. Mm-hmm. You know, can these people just find happiness? You know, can they just be in a safe place and be happy? And the answer is no, because it's The Walking Dead, and things just don't end happy.
And all hope has just been crushed
not
right
all
now.
Hope, most hope. You have to have a little bit of hope. It's not all hope, it's most hope.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about that I think was so fantastic that Chris Hardwick pointed out was that Negan may have killed Abraham, but he didn't beat him.
Yeah,
and you got a little emotional about that.
I did, because I had never really thought of it that way. I thought, okay, you know, he sacrificed himself, Abraham, and he gave himself up. But even to the end, it really was F you. You know, it was like, I'm going to take you out. It's like, okay, you guys, you've cornered us. You have, you know, logistically, and the numbers of it just don't add up to us being able to survive this. But, you know, I own this moment, not you. You know, so it was cool. I hadn't thought of it that way, and I'm glad that it at least some people perceive it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you obviously became so close with this group of people that you filmed with. They really are a family on this show. How does it feel to say goodbye to them? How fun was it last night partying with them?
It was great. It was great seeing everybody, because I have not been on set in quite a while. I've traveled back and forth to Georgia to sort of keep the ruse up, to keep most people. Even if they thought they knew, there was still enough doubt that they didn't know. Mm-hmm. You know, it's sort of like having a favorite in a sporting event. Like, you think they're gonna do the thing, but there's always the possibility. So as long as there's that possibility and nobody knows for sure, mm-hmm. then we're still ahead of the game. But to address, you know, sort of the group that we have out there. We are our family out there. We work in rural Georgia. Most of us are working away from home. There's only 2 people who actually live there year-round. in the cast, and it's all we have out there. So you build on that, and it's a very, very giving group, a very, wonderfully supportive creatively, and emotionally, and that's who we have out there, and so to leave that's hard, just in the sense of saying goodbye to friends. Picture your sort of your best summer camp ever, and it comes to an end, or your best sort of summer vacation ever, and it comes to an end. It's bittersweet. You say goodbye, but you're really excited for what's next, because you don't know what's next. And for me, I'm at a place now where it's really exciting, because I literally have no idea what's next, because I have not even been able to pursue work for the last year. So there's literally at the moment like nothing that might be, which is great, because it means everything might be.
Well, I actually have something that I'd really like to pitch right now.
Go ahead.
There is another show on AMC that's a prequel. Fear the Walking Dead.
I think we're all walked and deaded out.
You don't want to just have like some kind of cameo walking through, where we just see you in the background being like, we need to get him to DC.
I don't think those two shows can even exist in the same. We're based on the graphic novel, I think, which gives us permission to do things that the other show doesn't have permission to do.
Very true.
They're much more. We base everything we do in reality, so it's believable. So we, it all has to be based in reality to sort of, have emotional impact. That show is much more based in reality of what would really happen. We have people walking around looking like this, and with crossbows and samurai swords, and there's a heightened element to our show because it's the graphic novel that the other show doesn't have. So I don't think a lot of our characters, some of them could, but I don't think a lot of them could transfer into that world and not look ridiculous.
I needed to try.
We'll see. Who knows?
Well, lastly, for all those fans out there who are watching, what do you want to say to them?
Nothing. Talk to you all the time on Twitter. I ain't nothing to say to you people.
Will you be able to look at a baseball bat the same way?
Yeah. I'm going to go beat the crap out of Jeffrey Dean. Denny. I'm going to beat Denny's ass. How about that? Let's go beat Denny's ass.
I think that we would be okay with that.
Could happen.
I'm fine with that. Thank you so much for sitting with us. I really appreciate it. And
Thanks,
we're
guys.
Honestly going to miss you so much on the show.
Unicorns, hearts, trombones. I don't know. Do they have a trombone?
Sure. Bye, guys.